Welcome to today's class. Today we're going to be discussing flared skirts, circle skirts, full circle skirts, and the gathered skirts. They are very simple. The only skirt that we need pattern again here is the flared skirt. We're going to be using our normal basic skirts. The only thing we have to do here is that we extend our dart just like we did for the panel skirts. Then you slash. You open wide, place another paper underneath, then spread on it. Any length you want. Then use your paper tape. To tape. Afterwards, whatever fullness you want to achieve will be determined by the fullness you actually added to the paper itself, how you extended the skirt. So if you are having something like this, our normal skirt goes like this. This is the dart, you slash the dart here. Then you have an opening like this. Don't mind my drawing. So this is the opening here. So whatever length you wanted, that's what you will extend to. You can also find another line to slash, probably the waist point here. Just slash down the hip line here to add another fullness to it. So whatever fullness you want to add to the skirt, that's the slashes you're going to put on the skirt. That is all about the flared skirt. So the full circle skirt, we're going to have the practice done on the cloth itself. But before that, I want us to know that full circle skirt takes this form. It takes the form of foldings. You fold your cloth into 4, into 6, into 8, into 12, into 16, and so on and so forth. Whatever size, however you want your circle to be folded, that's how you fold your cloth into. So whatever you're folding your cloth into is what you're dividing your waist by. Let's say you're folding your cloth into 16 and you have a waist of 40. That means you're dividing your waist by 40 to achieve the curved points. You will understand better when I illustrate on the clothes. So don't forget, whatever you fold your clothes into, that is what you're going to work on. So that's that about the circle skirt. So the gathered skirts, let me just say pleated skirts. Like it could be pleated in the box form, it could be pleated in the knife form, and it could be gathered. When we mean gathered skirt, we're talking about putting the clothes back together. That is what it means, putting the clothes, but like you add a fullness and you're bringing them together. So, or maybe I should just say pleated skirts, then pleated skirts. So under the pleated skirts, we'll now have the gathers, knife, and the box. And this is how you achieve them. I will illustrate everything on the fabric later on, but I want us to get the calculations and everything. So depending on how you want your fullness, you're going to multiply your waist by 2. This one is for moderate fullness. By 3, a form of a moderate fullness. But if you want it extremely full, you go by 4. You could even go by 5. I've made a cloth before for a customer and I actually used 6 yards for the gathers? 6 yards. So it depends on how full, what you want to achieve with the gathers. It depends on that. For the knife pleats, the same goes to the knife pleats. Waist divided by, it could be 2, but if you're dividing it, if you're multiplying it by 1, that means you're going to achieve a very, in fact, you cannot even achieve a knife pleat with by 1. So by 2, by 3, by 4, by 5, and so on and so forth like that. Box pleats too, the same thing applies to them. That's why they are pleated. That's why they are all gathered skirts all together. I want to show us the outcome of each one. A gathered skirt comes out like this. It comes out like this, and probably this place goes like this. That's a gathered skirt. A knife pleat comes this way. If you notice, the pleating. You should be able to imagine the skirt that goes this way. I would explain as well. I just want us to have a standard knowledge before then. So this for the box pleat. We also have inverted pleats, but it comes with the inverse of whatever our box pleat is. So let's move now to the fabric, to our table, to explain how it goes. So here we have the cloth for the full circle. Here we have the cloth. There's a plain cloth here. You divide it. I'm using into 4 now, and this is into 2 first, into 2 first. If you have iron, you iron it out as well. Plus, you should even have iron. You are a fashion designer, you need to have iron. So you're going to fold it into 4 this way. This is it. Then you could use your iron to press this place down. Press this place down. So just let's imagine that our waist is 28. Is it 28? Should we use 28? Let's do something smaller. Our waist is 18. So 18 divided by 4, because I am folding it into 4, is 4.5. I have 4.5 here. So I want to achieve 4.5 here at this basic corner here. I want to achieve 4.5 here. So I'll need a chalk, tailor's chalk. This is all called tailor's chalk. You would measure the 4.5 here. You just make it go all through. We have other ways of doing this. We have the radius form, but we really don't. And the reason why I'm actually allowing excess here is because of our zip allowance. But we really don't want to confuse people who are not really good when it comes to mathematics. We can use diameter, radius to calculate this, but let's just limit it to whatever you're folding your clothes into. You're dividing your clothes in, you are dividing your waist by it as well. So you've measured your 4.5 here, then you will measure the length of the skirt you want. Let's say I want like 12, then I'm taking the 12 round. I'll be taking the 12 round. It. Oh, my 12 isn't getting here, so let's say 8. Let me use 8.5 because it's round. I want it to be round. I don't want to achieve high low, so let's just go by. You mark it, then you mark it. So you're cutting this place. So this is it. We have your full circle skirt. We have the full circle skirt here. So if you're folding your clothes into other means, like into 4, into 5, into 6, into anything, to achieve a very full clothes, you are going to divide it by whatever form you are folding your clothes into. So that is that about the circle skirt. You can also achieve this on the paper like the flared skirt, but it wastes a lot of paper. So if you just want a little fullness, you can go for the flared skirt. But if you want a fullness like this, like you want it very full, and the material you are using to drop, you're going to go about it using this formula of waist divided by 4. So I want to talk about the box pleats now. I'm going to use pins. I'm going to use my pins to do this. Whatever thing you want to multiply your waist by 4, by 8, you are bringing it back. This is a box plate, just our normal case plate that we usually tell our tailors that I want a box plate there. So this is it. Depending on the fullness, you see, this is a box, this is a box, this is a box. You can also measure this place to make sure you are giving it the same distance all through, like probably 4 inches, you see. So you make sure it's also 4 inches here before you case plate it. There's it then. You would measure it again, 4 inches. On and on. So if you want to, for box pleat, actually, this next one won't allow us. You need enough clothes. So you are not multiplying it. I do not advise anybody to multiply it anything less than 3. If it's less than that, then you would have quite a big box. So if you want to achieve little box, like little boxes or something, you're going to make it a little bit smaller. And when you are sewing your clothes back, you have to make sure that they meet well here, and on and on and on. So the back side is the inverted pleat. The back side is the inverted pleat. You see the difference? You see that we have allowance here, we have allowance here, and it's quite different from the box plate here. But we have people who would prefer this kind of pleats than this kind of pleats. So that is that about the box pleats. So for the gathered stuff, you could actually use needle and thread to make the gathers. A long one like this, just go on and on and on. To put it all together. This is the first method. I'm going to tell us the second method. Yes. So let me just stop here. You can go on and on and on. So make sure you tie the back of this place so that when you pull everything together, you won't lose at the other side, like it's not going to remove and you have to start all over again. So this is it. This is how to gather. Then you place your machine on it, then you sew back. Like you gather to the point that you are achieving the real waist back. You are achieving the real waist back. To me, this seems to be one of the simplest clothes to make, one of the simplest stuff to put around to prove your stunts. Like you get, like in a very fast way, just go through the gathered and come out, bring it back together and achieve your normal waist. So that is that about the gathered, the box, the inverted pleats. And now to the knife pleats. The knife pleats is also very simple. Whatever your waist is, multiply it by either 2, 3, 4, 5 inches, whatever inches you want to achieve. But for knife pleats, I think you need a whole lot of clothes to achieve this, because they are not usually big. They are not usually big at all. It's much more beautiful when it's small like this. See, you can see. And it could be the other way around, like it could be the other way around, like you coming this way and coming this way, and make sure it's the same allowance you're putting. So it could either follow this way or follow through this way. So you keep pleating back until you achieve your normal waist. And please don't forget your zip allowance. If you're going to put zip, you should put zip. So your zip allowance, and also iron. You're going to iron them down so that you won't have issues when you are through with all the clothes and you have to start ironing before you put everything together. Please iron, put your iron there. It's going to slip well, and you will have nice pleats. So we're done with the different kind of pleats we have and how to make them. Thank you. So we are going to use the front of the skirt to explain the flared skirt. So you're going to use your normal basic. These are normal basic skirts, like I've said earlier. Then you extend the dart down. You can create another dart by the very close to the waist point. It depends on how you want to achieve the fullness you want to achieve. So the next thing you're going to do is to slash. You're going to slash and slash. Then you spread. Please don't forget to cut out your excess. Anytime you want to do something like this, it's advisable to put your sewing allowance. So here is my own sewing allowance, SA. Please don't forget the SA here too. Then the hemline, SA. It's advisable for you to add your SA, your sewing allowance, before you cut out your edge, the hemline. So you're going to spread it on a new paper this way. Depending on the fullness you want, you can go as far as this, then as far as this to achieve your flare. Just know that you're going to be using a whole lot of paper, but for the sake of this class, you're just going to make something like this. Then you would use your tape to put it down. Make sure the allowance you are giving are the same. Like The extension here is the same as the extension here. You can measure it, like have something like this like 2, almost 3, like. Then the next thing for you to do now is to make sure that the lines are connecting each line. This is the M line, like what you're going to use to tape it in. So you're making sure that it connects, and that's the reason why you need to put the allowance there before you slash and spread, else it will be very difficult to get it back. So you have your flex skirt like this. Yeah, here we have our flat skirt. Thank you.